Alright guys, in this video we will talk about OpenAI's latest Responses API. This is an advanced version of the API which will eventually replace the current chat completion API. The chat completion API will be sunset around the end of 2026. So we do have some time. But if you are starting out now, I strongly recommend you start with this Responses API. Now let's go take a look at it. This is the basic setup. We're installing OpenAI and upgrading it. And this is the current version 1.66.3. And right here, I'm loading up my OpenAI API key. With that setup, let's get started. All right, so let's get started with the absolute basic. We're bringing in OpenAI, creating a client by invoking that OpenAI class. And then we're calling client.responses.create. We're no longer going for the chat completion. We are going straight for responses.create, and here's our model GPT-4o mini, and look how straightforward the input is. Tell me a joke in the style of Donald Trump, right? And also look how they have fixed the response output. There's no longer dot this dot that. It's just simple response dot output text. It's pretty nice. So let's run it. There you go. We have our answer. Okay, so now that we have the basics done, let's go handle some images. All right, so as usual, we bring in that OpenAI and create the client. One extra thing I'm bringing in is the pprint, just pretty print, so that our output looks better. And in here, same way, client.responses.create, we're declaring our model. And with the input, there's multiple dictionaries here. One is the user role, the content is our question, what is this image about? And the other one is we're actually providing the image context here. And the content, we throw in that image URL, this is the URL, and we are bringing in this image from my Cloudinary image service. As you can see, it's a hamburger. So now let's go ahead and ask this question via the Responses API and see what comes out. Boom, there you go. The image features a freshly staked hamburger with multiple beef patties, melted cheese, etc., etc., which is an accurate description of this guy right here. All right, that being done, let's move to the next. All right, so let's get into prompt engineering, right? So the way we used to give like system prompts, that's what we're going to learn here. Our usual client prepared, client.responses create, our model, and here instead of any fancy dictionary, data dictionary, we just put in instructions like this. Please talk like Trump. And then input would be our question, are high tariffs good for the economy, right? So let's run this. Oh, there you go. Well, let me tell you, tariffs can be tremendous, folks, blah, 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 blah. So we definitely know this is following Trump's style, and this would be the answer. So our instruction or our system prompting actually worked. So now let's go to next. All right, so once again, prompt engineering, and this time we're going to delve into a little bit more advanced feature. So far, we already knew that OpenAI's API had system, user, and assistant as roles. But this time, for this Responses API, they brought in one extra role called developer. It's just one extra layer of system instructions. So in here, that's what we're implementing. Here's our model and input, role, developer, content, talk like a Trump, not really a, talk like Trump, and our user content, which is the user question, is why we should love Russia. All right, so let's run this. Well, there you go. Look, folks, when it comes to Russia, blah, 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 blah. So we know Trump's style has been followed, and this answer is given to us. So we just learned how to use developer as a role. Now let's move on to next. All right, so more prompt engineering. So as we already know, we have system, developer, user, and assistant as roles. But the question is, how about the hierarchy? Which takes precedence over what, right? So that's why we're setting this one up, our input role system, and when we're saying talk like a Trump, I mean actually talk like Trump, and the developer content says don't talk like Trump. So it's negating each other, right? And then we have our user content, why Canada should be the 51st state of the US, right? So now what we're going to see here is that when layered all this like this, the system prompt will always take over, right? So let's run this. Oh, Canada, tremendous country, blah, blah, blah. So we know the Trump style has been followed, so developer was ignored. So basically, this is the hierarchy that is followed that we should know when giving it more instructions to our prompt engineering. Basically, what I realize is that we just gonna go ahead and augment the instruction set as a developer. And the main strong ones or global ones we will maintain when we put system instruction. And that's how the hierarchy works. Now let's go to the next. All right, so let's talk about reasoning. So if you want to learn more about it, this is the URL to follow. So basically, this responses API has a special place for the thinking models like O3 mini, O3 mini high, O1, etc. Right? And here, the reasoning level, the effort can be controlled by medium, high, and low. And with high, most comprehensive context, high cost, lower response. Medium would be balanced, and low would have least context, lowest cost, and fastest response, but potentially lower answer quality, right? So that's what we're going to learn how to do. So let's go and run this. And our prompt question is, write an article on the impact of climate change, limited to one paragraph. And here are the arguments, our model, reasoning, effort medium, input, user, content, prompt. This prompt right here. So let's see what's up. All right, a nice paragraph right here, and it was pretty quick. And I bet if we set it to high, it would take a little bit longer time and we probably get larger context. That said, let's go to the next. All right, so this is going to be pretty simple. I mean, this is where we just want to see how we can stream the output, right? That's why we're just, as a user's content, we're setting a nice tongue twister and telling it to repeat 10 times, right? Say double bubble bath 10 times fast, right? And this time we add this extra, stream equals true, same model, same create responses.create, and let's go. Boom, there you go. This is the raw streaming response. All these are delta, delta, delta. And here, output text delta, etc. So now we just simply go ahead and do the same thing, but this time we just filter it out a little bit. Same input, and this time we're gonna go ahead and, as you can see, this is a little bit of old style of input implementation, but here we're gonna go even simplify it. Model input stream equals true, and text chunk as an array, and that's where we're gonna put all our text after filtering it with all those text.deltas. So if I run it now, boom, there you go. It's nice and stream way. It just printed it out. With that, I conclude this video. Thanks for watching.